February 26, 1959. The northern Ural Mountains of Soviet Russia. A search party climbs toward Kholat Syakhl, Dead Mountain in the indigenous Mansi language. They are looking for 9 hikers, experienced, well-equipped, led by Igor Dyatlov, a 23-year-old engineering student with multiple wilderness expeditions under his belt. The group had set out 3 weeks earlier to reach Otorten Peak, a challenging but achievable route for seasoned hikers. They were expected back on February 12th. They never arrived. When the search party crests the ridge, they find a tent. The tent has been cut open from within, violently, desperately, as if the 9 occupants fled in absolute terror. But fled from what? Their boots remain inside. Their coats remain inside, in temperatures reaching -30 degrees Celsius. No rational person abandons shelter, warmth, and survival equipment in a Siberian winter, unless something forced them to choose certain death over staying inside that tent. Welcome to the Paradox Archive. We dissect the cases that defy explanation. Today we venture into the unforgiving silence of the Ural Mountains. This is the Dyatlov Pass incident. January 23, 1959. 9 members of the Ural Polytechnic Institute set out on a winter expedition. Igor Dyatlov the leader, Zinaida Kolmogorova, Rustam Slobodin, Yuri Doroshenko, Yuri Krivonischenko, Ludmila Dubinina, Alexander Kolevatov, Nikolai Thibault-Brignon, Semyon Zolotaryov. Experienced hikers, athletes, survivors. Their goal: to achieve a Category 3 Winter Trek certification, the highest difficulty rating in Soviet mountaineering. They documented their journey meticulously. Photos, journal entries. The last entry, February 1st, describes making camp on the slopes of Kholat Syakhl despite worsening weather. That night something happened. When the search party arrives on February 26th, they follow the footprints leading down the slope toward the forest, 1.5 kilometers away. The prints tell a disturbing story. Some are barefoot, some in socks, some wore a single boot. They weren't walking, they were running. Near the forest edge, searchers find the first 2 bodies. Yuri Doroshenko and Yuri Krivonischenko, barefoot, clothed only in underwear, lying beside the charred remains of a fire built beneath a large cedar tree. Both had climbed the tree. Broken branches indicated someone had climbed 5 meters up, attempting to see something, or escape something. 300 meters back toward the tent, 3 more bodies are discovered. Igor Dyatlov, Zinaida Kolmogorova, Rustam Slobodin. They had tried to return, to reach the shelter they had fled. But the cold claimed them first. Hypothermia, frostbite, exhaustion. But the autopsy reports revealed something else, something that didn't fit. Rustam Slobodin had a fractured skull, and 4 more were still missing. It would take 2 more months to find the remaining 4. May 4, 1959. 75 meters into the forest, buried beneath 4 meters of snow in a ravine. Lyudmila Dubinina, Alexander Kolevatov, Nikolai Thibault-Brignol, Semyon Zolotaryov. The autopsy results were unprecedented. Lyudmila Dubinina, fractured ribs, massive internal bleeding. Her tongue, eyes, and part of her facial tissue were missing. Nikolai Thibault-Brignol, severe skull fracture. Bone fragments driven into brain tissue. Semyon Zolotaryov, fractured ribs, internal hemorrhaging. The force required to cause these injuries was immense. The medical examiner compared it to a high-speed car collision. Yet there were no external wounds, no cuts, no bruises, no signs of a struggle or a fall from significant height. The examiner's official statement: these injuries could not have been caused by another human being. The force required was beyond human capability. Beyond human capability. And then there were the additional anomalies. Several pieces of clothing tested positive for radiation, not environmental background radiation. Specific contamination. Some garments showed levels significantly above normal. The lead investigator, Lev Ivanov, later stated he was ordered to close the case, ordered to classify the findings. The official conclusion: death by a compelling unknown force. The area was sealed off for 3 years. No expeditions allowed. And the truth was buried with the victims. If you believe the unexplained demands investigation, if you want to preserve these stories before they're forgotten, subscribe to the archive. We document what others won't. What happened on Dead Mountain? Decades of investigation, thousands of theories, no consensus. 4 explanations remain. Theory A: avalanche and paradoxical undressing. Swiss researchers propose a localized avalanche struck the tent. Panicked, injured, the hikers fled. In severe hypothermia, victims feel burning heat. They strip their clothing. Logical, scientific. But it fails. No avalanche debris. Slope too shallow, 23 degrees. Doesn't explain the massive internal injuries, the radiation, the missing tongue, or why experts would abandon their only shelter. Theory B: military testing. The Ural Mountains housed secret installations. The Cold War was at its peak. Sonic weapons, thermobaric devices, experimental ordnance. Witnesses reported strange lights that night. Orange spheres, bright flashes. Lev Ivanov himself later claimed he was pressured to suppress evidence of fire spheres. Could the hikers have witnessed something forbidden? The radiation, the classified closure, the military presence. But no documents, no proof, only whispers. Theory C: infrasound, the frequency of fear. In certain wind conditions, mountains produce infrasound, sound below human hearing. Between 7 and 19 Hz, it causes extreme anxiety, panic, disorientation. Katabatic winds were present that night. The conditions were perfect. Trapped in their tent, bombarded with infrasound, their primal fear centers activated. Logic shut down. They fled into certain death to escape an invisible threat. This explains the panic, the irrational behavior, but not the injuries, not the radiation, not the tongue. Theory D, the unknown. The Mansi people called it Dead Mountain. They avoided it, warned against it. Witnesses reported footprints larger than human, a sulfuric smell. Ludmila Dubinina's injuries, missing tongue, removed eyes, too clean for scavengers. The timeline doesn't fit. Could something else have been on that mountain? Something the Soviet government couldn't explain? Something they chose to bury? 9 lives. 9 families shattered. 9 graves in Mikhailovskoye Cemetery. Decades of investigation. Thousands of pages of testimony. Hundreds of theories. And still no answer. In 2019, the Russian government reopened the case. They examined avalanche theories, infrasound studies, military records. In 2020, they concluded avalanche. But they couldn't explain the radiation, the injuries, the missing tissue. They closed the case again. The Dyatlov Pass remains open to hikers. Hundreds visit each year, retracing the final steps of the 9. Some report strange feelings, unexplained anxiety, the sensation of being watched. Others find nothing but wind, snow, and silence. What happened on Dead Mountain? Was it nature? Was it man? Was it something we have no name for? The truth lies buried beneath the snow. 9 souls lost to an unknown force. And the mountain keeps its secrets. What do you believe happened on Dyatlov Pass? Share your theories in the comments. The archive is listening. Until the next file is opened. This is the Paradox Archive.